every time kind of life. Baby, baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is on the look I am wearing here. So it's a kind of a super bold graphic liner. I've kept the face really minimal and then just done bright shiny lips. So this look was actually inspired by a photo I saw on Instagram of Manny MUA. He did a graphic eyeliner, but he used like a blue in the middle and it just looks so gorgeous. And I didn't have a blue, but I had a hot pink, so I figured I'd just play around with that instead. But I'm really quite happy with how it turned out. I think it's really cool, it's really fun. I decided to not do any lashes. I just kind of kept, apart from the eyeliner, I kept the eyes really simple. And again, I kept the face really simple and just kind of made the eyes and the lips kind of the standout of this look. So we'll get into it, and if you enjoy, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. It's cool if you don't, up to you. And yeah, I'll see you next time. So now that you're zoomed in nice and close, I'm going to start with the eyes. So to prime my lids, I just take a little bit of concealer. So I'm going to be using the Line Smoothing Concealer from Clinique, and that's in the shade 02 Light. I'm just going to take that on a brush and pop it all over my lid. I definitely prefer doing the eyes first, especially if I'm kind of trying out something new, because then at least if it all turns to crap, it's all good. I can just wipe it off and start again and not have to worry about redoing like a whole base of foundation. Cool, then I'm just going to set that down with a little bit of powder, and the powder I'm using at the moment is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Powder Foundation and Concealer, and this is in the shade Breeze. So just take that just on a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to pat that on top of that concealer, and this just helps the powders to blend on top a lot easier as well. I don't want to do a lot of eyeshadow. I want the main focus of this look to kind of be the eyeliner, because it's quite a graphic eyeliner look. So I'm just going to take a kind of a really light, warm, my phone just buzzed, really light warm brown shade, and this is Always Sunny by MAC, and I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush. Don't even know where this brush is from, and I'm just going to dust that just in the crease. Also just going to pop it on the outer corner, just like that. So it's a super basic eyeshadow, nothing too distracting from the actual look that I'm trying to do. So for the eyeliner, so the black part of the eyeliner, I'm going to use the Pretty Easy Liquid Eyelining Pen by Clinique, and this one is 01 Black. Using a lot of Clinique products, not bias. And I'm just going to do I'm going to do how I normally would do a wing. I'm going to do it a little bit thicker though, and I'm not going to fill in the middle, because that's where I want the colour to go. So I always just start just with a line and then connect it to my inner corner. Just going to quickly do the other eye. And then basically you can put whatever colour you want in the middle. I am going to do more of a bright pink. So this is the Dior It line, and this is in the shade 879. I've never actually understood with brands like Dior and Chanel and YSL that they don't typically tend to give their products, the colours of their products, names. It's always just a number, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, I've always found that weird. So it's just a really nice hot pink, so I'm going to take that in kind of that blank space. Now I'm just going to quickly do the other eye. Just like that, so that's what we've got so far, but I'm going to go back in with that original black, and I'm just going to go around that pink and just to kind of sharpen and define that black a little bit more. Cool, so for my lashes, I'm actually going to go for more of the clumpy lash effect. So I'm just going to take my Clinique Full to Flutter mascara, and I just take my wand on an angle, and I kind of use that to almost clump my lashes together. I decided to not do false lashes for this because I felt like all the ones I had would take away from the eyeliner too much. They were too big and too fluttery. I don't have any more kind of subtle ones, but definitely I think lashes that kind of thicken out at the end would look really, really nice with this look, but I don't have any, unfortunately, so I decided to do clumpy lashes. It's a thing, look it up. So now that the eye look is essentially done for now, I'm going to move on to the face. So I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and this is in the shade Snow, and I just pump that directly onto my Zoeva 104 buffer brush, and I just dot that onto the skin and work it in from there. So I just buff this all over until I've kind of got the desired coverage that I want. I love this foundation because it's super long wearing, but it's not like a completely matte foundation. It's not super shiny or dewy either. It's kind of that beautiful in between. So for someone like me who's a little bit oilier, I don't always just want to be completely matte. I like to be able to use something that's going to make me look really hydrated and really glowy, but without looking like an oil slick 2 hours later. So I love this foundation for that. I'm going to go in with concealer. Unfortunately, I have run out of my lighter concealers, and so what I've been doing is I've kind of just been mixing a few to get kind of the desired colour and consistency that I want. So I initially go in with the Clinique Line Smoothing in Light. This one says it's light, but it's still way too dark for me for when I don't have any tan on, which is majority of the time. I can never be bothered to tan. I just kind of place this under my eyes and down the centre of my face. I don't worry about my forehead because obviously I've got kind of my bangs to cover it. So since that one's too dark, I go in with my YSL Touche Eclat and I just do a couple of stripes kind of right on top. I wouldn't use this solely as a concealer because it's not actually designed to be a concealer from what I've been told. So to prevent that Touche Eclat from kind of creasing under my eyes, I like to mix it with the line smoothing, and I find that makes a really nice combination because I kind of get that radiance from the Touche Eclat while getting the coverage from the line smoothing, but together they mix and kind of make a colour that's suitable for me. So again, I just take that sponge and I just pat the product into my skin. I also take the smaller side and I use that to get right underneath my eyes, especially if you've done your eye makeup first and you want to be a little bit more precise. And then I'm going to just set all that liquid down with the same powder I used before, the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Powder Foundation and Concealer in Breeze, and I just take this angled flat Elizabeth Arden brush, which is my all-time favourite brush for powder. It was the first ever brush that I purchased, and I think I was like 14, 15 at the time, and I was just wanting like a powder to kind of cover up any acne and things like that. So I got the Elizabeth Arden Pure Finish Mineral Powder and this brush, and I've been so obsessed with it ever since. It's definitely one of my favourites. And for my under eye powder I use something different. I use the Taunt Miracle powder by Lancome, and this is, I believe it's in the shade 01. Not entirely sure. The shade has worn off, so I'm not too sure, but I just shake this into the cap. I just take my Real Techniques contour brush and I just pat this under my eyes. And that will keep that concealer in place all day. So I've decided I'm not really going to bronze for this look. Instead I'm going to take my Clinique, my very busted Clinique Cheek Pop in Beach Pop, and I'm just going to use a Zoeva 126 Luxe Cheek Finish, and I'm just going to pop that on the apples of my cheeks going out. I'm not a huge blush bronzer person. I just find because I am so pale right now, like look at my chest to my face, like this is the lightest foundation I've been able to find, and it's still a little too dark, but I just kind of go with it. But because I am so pale and I struggle to find a foundation that matches me well, I find if I go in with some bronzer it kind of just darkens and warms up my face too much, and then it's just a whole disaster. So I thought a blush to kind of go with the eyeliner would be a better choice, and I'm going to highlight with my Moniza Sisters palette from the Balm, and I just like to take the Mary Lou and I just pop this on a fan brush from BH Cosmetics, and I just kind of focus that on the high points of my cheeks, nose, a little bit on my chin. To quickly do my brows. For my brows I just take the Revlon Colour Stay Brow Maker, and this one is in 01 Brown. And then I take, once I open that, and then I take this double-sided Sephora brush and I take the angled side and I just fill in my brows, just following the natural shape that I have there. So I haven't so far done my brows on camera because I feel like brows are such a personal kind of preference and people don't necessarily like the way that I do mine, and I just cannot be bothered with anyone's opinion on that, because it's, you know, like I said, it's personal. It's like when I have customers and at work and they want to learn how to do brows, it's like I always consult with them about colouring and things like that. You know, I get them to tell me what they want as opposed to me telling them, because, you know, I could get someone in with white blonde hair and maybe she wants black brows, and that's absolutely fine, you know. I don't fill in the front parts of my brows. Instead I go in with a brow gel, and the one that I use is surprise the Clinique Just Browsing in the shade Light Brown. Now sometimes I do prefer more of like a taupey, whatever you want to say, to ash blonde brow gel, but I have recently fallen in love with the formula of this gel, and the only other, like the shade lighter than this is, it's just blonde, and I sometimes find blonde on me can just go a little too yellow, so I prefer to just really stay away from that if I can. So I just comb the gel over my brows, and then I've decided to leave my lower lash line completely bare. I don't typically like to put mascara down there because I find it really just closes my eyes. Again, a really personal preference, but instead I'm just going to go straight in with some lipstick, and for the colour I'm going to be using the Elizabeth Arden Ceramide Ultra Lipstick in Magenta Bubbly. So it's kind of like a bit of a hot pink, so I think this will kind of complement the eyes really well. So I wanted to do a bold lip, bold liner, as opposed to like that sharp, you know, kind of strong features on my face. I'd rather just keep it to the lips and the eyes, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So I don't unfortunately have a lip liner to match this, so I'm just going to go straight in. I feel like the Elizabeth Arden lipsticks do not get the kind of attention that they deserve. They are actually so stunning and so comfortable, and they have such a great shade range as well. Like, really good. And then I want my lips to be a little glossier, so I'm going to go with the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Sugar Cookie. I'm just going to pop that right on top. These things smell amazing as well.
I'm smiling, she leaving, she go then, she leaves for me. Says she leaves for me, ovation. I'm a motivation. She comes round and she comes round to me, and I make it smile like a drug for you. Feel all of what you wanna do, I'm coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through. One stop to the rhythm that divides you, and I speak to you like the